So go ahead and leave it. I don't know what's on your mind, and there's no way I can fix it, but you're also leaving me behind.
Well, good morning from Yoho National Park. I got my co-star Lane with me today.
Morning.
Lane joined me for BC Adventures last year, where we went to Vancouver Island, if you guys remember that. And now we are back to British Columbia in Yoho National Park. And Lane, you have been here before.
Yes, I've been here a couple times. Once in the spring and once in the fall. First time for summer.
And what would you say was your favorite thing that you did?
Emerald Lake.
Where we are right now. It is absolutely stunning. So this is definitely like the top attraction of this area, but there's really a lot to see, right? Like there's a lot in Yoho National Park.
I'd say Yoho is known for waterfalls. There are countless waterfalls in the area.
And what's also really nice is that if you're coming here in the summer, Yoho is substantially less busier than Banff National Park, because like even look at this. We're here not even that early in the morning and there's so few people here. If this was Lake Louise or Moraine Lake,
You might not get a parking spot.
yeah, there's no way. So if you want to go a little bit off the beaten track and have a bit less of crowding in the summertime, this is a great option. But to begin our journey, let's begin with the top attraction, which is Emerald Lake.
Just a few more hours, you'll be on your way, like dancing on a wire. Oh, how I try to make you stay. Won't you stay? Won't you stay? Won't you stay? Won't you stay?
So we just finished our adventures of hiking around the lake, and we are going to get a lovely lunch here on the patio at Emerald Lake Lodge. Looks like they have a pretty good selection of things for lunch and also a very good drink menu. So while there are a lot of hikes that you can do around the Emerald Lake area, another great attraction is to rent a canoe and be able to go on the lake. Now, the first day that Lane and I were there, it was extremely hot during the day once we got done our hike, and also there was a big line of people since it was mid-afternoon. So we decided to come back another day right in the morning when they opened at 10 a.m. and were able to get a canoe right away. It costs about $90 for the hour, but I think it's absolutely worth it because you get an absolutely beautiful vantage point from the water. After you finish up at Emerald Lake, I would also highly recommend making a detour to the Natural Bridge. From the viewing platform, you get to see the beautiful Kicking Horse River, which is actually quite strong and has carved a path through the rock formations in the area. And if you're feeling extra adventurous, there is also the option to go whitewater rafting down the Kicking Horse River. I'm not exactly sure where it starts from, but I believe it's near the area. For those of you who haven't heard of Yoho National Park, it is a protected area located in the Rocky Mountains. It's around the southeast corner of British Columbia. It's actually very close to the border of Alberta, so if you were already in Banff, to drive to Yoho would only take about an hour. As Lane had mentioned earlier, Yoho National Park is definitely known for its waterfalls. The options are endless of how many you can see in the park. And as you'll see later in the video, it's also got some of the most beautiful alpine lakes. The largest and closest commercial center to Yoho National Park would be Golden, BC. Keep in mind it is still very much a small town with a population of just under 4,000 people. But in my opinion, it is the most convenient place to stay, has lots of great restaurants and amenities, and just has a really beautiful charm to it. So we just got back to Golden. I think it may start raining, but I do have to say that I'm very glad that we decided to stay here in this very scenic, very charming small town. Because when it comes to exploring Yoho National Park, there's not really a lot of big centers around it. I'm pretty sure Golden is the biggest. You could stay on the other side of the park, almost closer to Lake Louise, but near there's not really a lot of accommodation options. There's not really any amenities. And then there is the town of Field, which is in the park, but that's an even smaller town than Golden, so you don't have a lot of options when it comes to accommodation or restaurants. Golden is actually really lovely because it does have that small town, you know, within the mountains sort of feel. It does have a lot of great accommodation options, restaurants, shops, and the place that we're actually staying at, I am super excited to be in because I've wanted to stay there for a very long time, which is the Base Camp Golden Lodge. Base Camp Resorts actually has a lot of different locations in the Rocky Mountains in both Alberta and BC. So I did, of course, reach out to them and ask if they would be willing to work with me on this video, and they very kindly offered me 2 nights complimentary stay in exchange for putting them in the video. But you guys know that I would never recommend a place that I wouldn't, you know, personally stay at and pay for. So genuinely, if you are looking for a great place to stay in here in Golden, I would definitely recommend Base Camp Resorts. So friends, welcome to our humble abode here at Base Camp Lodge. Lane is hanging out. And this is actually a loft style room. It is the double queen room that has 1 bed downstairs and then another bedroom up there. On the bottom here we have the washroom, lovely shower, and I also really like that our room has a lovely view of the mountains. How nice is that? And then when you come up the stairs, you have the second bedroom, nice desk. And I do have to say that these mattresses are very comfortable, very nice, perfect place to come back to after a long day in the mountains hiking all day. All right. We are off to dinner, and luckily, thank you, Lane. Luckily in Golden, we really don't need to drive because everything is in walking distance.
Everything is always walking distance.
So
how long is the walk for real?
10 minutes max.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, all right. Let's go downtown.
Hello. How are you? Good.
Alright, so this looks really good. Had really nice reviews. A lot of different sandwich options. Seared duck, ahi tuna. I think there's also some kind of bison tenderloin here. And yeah, this place was very well rated, so we are going to try it out. This is something that I have never seen before on a menu. This is a candied salmon grilled cheese, and I think it has like spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, and goat cheese on there. And Lane, what did you get?
I got the yam burger. I'm going vegetarian tonight.
Oh, amazing. And I was actually just thinking to myself that Lane and I are both from small towns. Golden is a small town, but in my small town there were no restaurants like this.
Not like this. We had one called Baba's Restaurant.
Yeah.
The teas were great.
Yeah, well, yours was better than mine then. This looks super, super good. Well, good morning from base camp, guys. It is a lovely but overcast and rainy day today. So Lane and I just had some breakfast here, and we originally were thinking that we were going to do Takakau Falls as well as Twin Falls, which is like a super long hike, I think 15 kilometers round trip. Pretty significant elevation, but I think the fact that the trails are going to be muddy might be a problem, so we are going to be doing a trail called Laughing Falls, I think, right, Lane, instead, and that's going to be, I think, about 3 hours round trip, so even if the weather isn't amazing, we should be okay.
Always on a high, you were always on my mind, dear Wichita. The tales we were told would never grow old here in Wichita. We were down by the river all through the night, watching the stars and the city lights. Right from the start, said we never grow apart, dear Wichita. You wanted me to know, never ever let you go, dear Wichita. Surrounded by colors, it's such a sight, watching all the lovers fall into the night. All the moods in a heartbeat, we're going back where it all began. The same ground under our feet, starts to shake me through all we can.
Wow, what a difference 24 hours makes, right?
Yeah.
From like plus 30 scorching heat yesterday to rain, maybe 15 degrees, and this incredible, like, what would you even call this? Cloud? Yeah, it's a mood.
A mood, Pacific Northwest vibes.
Yeah, we're hoping that it's not going to be, too strong of rain, but it is really magical to be in weather like this where you have the clouds over the mountains, and there's also not going to be as many people hiking today, so that's also a good thing.
Somehow I just never learned. In the back of the schoolyard, where we used to play hide and seek. You smiled hello, oh my God, and there was no need to speak. Always in the dark, and you can't call us.
This hike turned out absolutely perfect, didn't it, Lane?
So far, so great.
So far, so great. We found even a picnic table with a view to enjoy our luncheon. And one quick thing that I feel like mentioning that Lane really knows about this stuff, I'm learning from her. These are bear sniff proof bags, probably not the proper name, but you know, yeah. Basically bears can really smell food, so it's a little dangerous, you know, to be carrying a lot of food with you when you're hiking. If you want to put it in one of these bags, it probably would help. So yeah, we are going to enjoy our sandwiches here at Laughing Falls with a great view. Good morning, everybody. We're on round 2 of our attempt at Lake O'Hara, which, as the guy down there said, is supposed to be one of the most beautiful alpine lakes in Canada.
North America, he
North
said.
America. So we actually attempted this when we first got here, but had an unexpected situation happen which made us turn back. But the issue with doing this hike is the fact that they don't allow regular vehicles on here. You have to get a shuttle pass if you want to ride the 11 kilometers to the lake, and they all sold out.
Probably in the first hour that they went live a few months ago.
Yeah, and there's very few spots. So if you happen to come on a day when somebody misses their spot, yes, you could do a last minute ride up there. But like in our case, it was all full up today. So we are going to hike the 11 kilometers
One way.
one way to Lake O'Hara, and then once we're there, ideally we'll do a small hike in the area, and on the way back maybe there might be room on the shuttle.
We're gonna catch the shuttle.
I hope so. Exactly 3 hours on the dot. We just made it to Lake O'Hara. We give ourselves a pat on the back, Lane. That was a hike. That was that was intense, but we made it. And it is really so special when you think about it, because so few people get to see this place in a year, because most people will only want to go on the shuttle. So we are about to see a magical lake. Come join us. So this is definitely one of the most beautiful lakes that I have ever been at. Like, look at this. And in a way, the best part is the fact that there's so few people here. Unfortunately though, there are wildfires that are happening in BC right now. I think it's like in the northwest of the province where it's really bad, but all the smoke from those fires have transferred over, you know, to lower parts of the province and also into Alberta, I guess. So while it is absolutely stunning today and it has its own kind of beauty in the haziness, I don't think the visibility would be very good if we actually went up and had a view down. So because we want to have afternoon tea at the lodge, I think we're just going to do the trail that's around the lake. That way we get to see it from all different angles and then hopefully be able to catch the bus at 4:30.
I saw the light go down Baker Street. Don't know exactly where she wants to meet. The last cigarette, broken fall. The rain's gonna be really soon.
This has 110% been the best Canadian National Park experience that I have ever had. Yes, there are still some that I have not seen, but Yoho National Park completely exceeded my expectations. Like, not only the diversity of the nature in this park, but primarily the lack of people, especially in such a busy season. I almost don't want to release this video because then more people will come to this amazing place. Luckily, it is quite big that I think it's all right, but I do have to say, guys, this is just a treasure. This is an absolute treasure here in Canada. I hope you have enjoyed this video and found it helpful if you are thinking of planning a trip here. Also want to give a big shout out to my friend Lane, who is sadly not here, but waiting at the shuttle stop for our place in line. So hopefully we don't have to walk 3 hours back down to the parking lot. So a big shout out to her for helping me with this video. Definitely give her a follow on Instagram. She's an amazing photographer. And I would love to know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Like, let me know if you have been to Yoho before, what were your favorite parts, and also if you have any tips, please leave them down below. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a fantastic day and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.